Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Caution Flag Contemplations Podcast, a racing show for the fans by a fan. All right. Welcome in the Caution Flag Contemplations Podcast. I am your host, Casper the Ghost. Here with me is Dwat and JP as always. For those of you that are watching this in video form on the YouTube, which is pretty much everybody listens to this at this point, congratulations, Dwat. I got you that picture up there, got you added in with your favorite driver who drives the number 9 Chevrolet Napa Racing. Sun Energy won. I believe that was the original Cup win.
Yep.
Got the push from old Jimmy Jam back around the track after the win, right, at Watkins Glen. Let's see. Ran out of gas, right, on the way around?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
I believe.
Georgia Racing Hall of Fame? Is that what that
Georgia
is?
Racing Hall of Fame.
Dawsonville. Did you get you something down there at the pool hall? Did you get you a burger?
Got me a shirt, got me a cheeseburger.
Was it any good?
It was good. It was good. It fried as well.
Really?
It was all really good.
I don't know why, but I always felt like that place probably didn't have good food, but I've never been. Sorry. I'm not a hater. I love Chase Elliott. I've always been kind of worried that, it wasn't all that. Well, welcome in. Pretty much a non-eventful weekend of racing. Not a lot going on. No races happening. And we might as well just hang it up. No, I'm just kidding. It was pretty good. What'd y'all see not race related on these races we're going to cover? Anything we need to hear about? You got any good stories? D-Watt, you said you had a story. Let's hear it.
Oh, I did some chainsawing yesterday for my wife's friend. They had a large tree fall down, a limb, and we went over there and did some chainsawing and moved all the wood to the road and got all the logs put to the side, and it'll be some good firewood for somebody.
All right, you going to bring
Coming
it
up
up here?
I might
burn it
bring
down,
a load. Oh, yeah.
You going to bring it up there to your house? You got that fire pit built up there in the
Yeah.
backyard yet? Or?
Yeah, I might bring some to my house and split it. And
I hear you. Well, that sounds like a good time. JP, you did anything good or nah?
No, I didn't really do anything, but in the world of iRacing in the last week, there's been 2 things of cheating.
All
One
right.
in the NASCAR series, a guy got penalized for bringing out a caution and then eventually got it appealed and got his penalty taken away and his ban taken away.
Okay, I want to pause, then we'll go to the second one. So I saw that video. It's like, what was the penalty for? Like, he barely touched the guy.
They said he intentionally stopped on the track to bring a caution, but he did not. He was just
He
trying
never
to save it.
stopped. I mean,
Yeah, it was stupid. They should have never gave him
and
the penalty.
it's not like he went like full Truck Series, ARCA Series mode and like locked the brakes up, wait till the yellow came out and rolled. I mean,
Yeah.
I watched the video. I thought it was a horse crap call. So
Yeah.
glad they got that fixed. All right, there's one iRacing moment. What's the other one?
And then this past weekend they had the 24 hours of Nürburgring event for iRacing, and Team Redline, which is owned by Max Verstappen, was on the pole for the first 2 cars for the race, and they got caught cheating with the setups. They gridded with rain tires and no fuel to achieve, essentially to make their ride height lower than the legal amount for that track.
Yeah.
And so they went their first lap and then pitted for dry tires and full fuel. So their car was lower than everybody else's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Holy
So they
cow.
got DQ'd like 3 or 4 hours into the 24-hour race.
So, just for the record, those of you that don't iRace, it ain't a game. It's a simulation.
Yeah.
They say that, and before I ever had it, I was like, no, it's just a game. EA Sports, it's in a game. But, it is actually serious, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good cheating. I don't know if that should be outlawed. It's not the spirit, but it worked. Ingenuity is great. I'm telling you, Max belongs in NASCAR.
Yeah.
I know there was one time that we almost bought that he was going to be in a Cup car at Mexico City this weekend, but he is indeed not. So, I don't know. That's cool. I don't have a whole lot for the weekend. I watched Eldora. Had a couple drinky poos on Friday. Watched that double feature. I thought overall the racing this weekend that we'll talk about here in a minute was just, As far as weekends go, like every single race, I would say this is like probably 8.5 plus out of 10. It was a pretty solid weekend, I thought, pretty much every race that I watched. So hopefully it'll be a good show. We'll get to talk about some of this crap, talk about some of these opinions. Other than that, quick news items. Atlanta Motor Speedway has been renamed to the Echo Park Speedway. So I got good news, boys. We went to the last race ever at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So congratulations on that. Y'all did that. Larson had a rough week there in the sprint car, kind of. Got passed by Abreu. Absolutely got snookered on a restart there. I guess that was Wednesday night. Thursday night, finished ninth. And then on Friday night, he decided to flip it into the fence when the axle broke with the Outlaws. So rough week for him on dirt. He was able to kind of salvage it with the fifth in the Cup race. He needs a good finish, man. He's had a rough, 14, 18 days at this point. So he needed that. But other than that, Dodge made their announcement. I wanted to get y'all's kind of opinion real quick on that, too. Did we feel like it was leaked way too much and it really wasn't that great of an announcement?
Pretty much.
Out of 10, give it a grade overall.
2.
I give it a 7. I feel like it was leaked quite a bit, but then when they finally had the announcement official, it was good. And I like it. I'll be a fan of whoever makes a switch team wise. I'll buy a shirt, and I'm behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm for it, but we all knew it was coming. It's not like it was a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, so this is my kind of take on it. The leaks were terrible. What they did at the track was pretty cool, doing the burnouts on the stage. And if everybody didn't know that was coming and that was just pulled out, to do burnouts on a stage before the Cup race, and there wasn't all these leaks and stuff. Even the ones previous, really, I'm talking about the pictures, last week and all that. I think it would have been pretty good type thing, for the people at the track. Would have been exciting. I couldn't believe they didn't show it on Prime, for one. I think maybe they were going to, and then the rain might have pushed it up a little bit. I know they pushed the start of the race up because I had to get in from Michigan, but we'll see what it is. I did see, right before I got on the podcast, MBM Garage 66 confirmed that they have their number officially assigned for the Truck Series next year. Carl Long, if I remember back in the day with MBM, was one of the longest to ever run Dodge. He was one of the last Dodge cars out there in the Xfinity Series and Cup Series, I believe. I'm pretty sure, wasn't that his car? And could be 100% wrong. Somebody will tell me on YouTube if I am. Was it his car, the one that got stolen from a hotel room, like an Xfinity car? Or was that Mike Harmon?
Couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure it was a Dodge either way. And anyways, it's been a while, but I guess we'll see them out there. I would assume that, if they're getting a truck together, he'll probably go back over that way. So we'll see what happens there. But other than that, not a whole lot. So real quick, you guys, if you're still making it here, please give us a like, subscribe, follow. Check out our posts on Facebook. Dwat's been doing a great job getting us some Facebook reels, some Instagram reels, stuff like that. It ain't worn you out yet, has it? Not too much work?
No,
Okay.
Nah, I like it.
Keep it up. We're doing pretty good. I know we've got a couple more followers, but the more we post, the more we'll get, and just keep it up. Looks pretty good. So I'll try to work on making those better and get more videos too. So other than that, moving on in, we went to the dirt. We'll start there like we always do here because dirt's for racing and asphalt's for getting there. So Friday. Wow, I'm a dumb. Wednesday, we rolled into the Eldora Speedway there. Rossburg, Ohio. We went last fall for our first trip, as y'all well know. Dwat's got his little koozie down here and his little hat right here. I'm sure he bought those there. Yep. He's smoking us on the merch game, JP, every week. We're getting smoked, so we're going to have to do something with that. But signed in 85 cars for a 20,000 to win. I mean, 85 cars. That's, this is a tune-up night. And everything, but we're kind of run through this one pretty quick. Fast time was Carson Ferguson. He was quick, had some good speed all weekend. Obviously, he went for that wild ride later we'll talk about, but other than that, he's pretty quick. Heat race winners Carson Ferguson, Garrett Albertson, Josh Rice, Hudson O'Neal, Tanner English, Bobby Pierce. No shock there that Bobby Pierce won a heat race. We started Carson Ferguson, O'Neal on the pole, front row. Josh Rice and Pierce started in row 3. And Bobby Pierce came on up there and pretty well smoked him. I mean, it was unfortunate. Turbo and Ziegler had that little ding-ding. Do y'all have any comments on that one? Any opinions, opines?
Not much of an opinion, but I did see they talked afterwards. I saw it was a flow clip of how they weren't they weren't slinging fists or anything, but they talked it out afterwards and talked about how they're buddies, but they raced each other pretty hard there.
Turbo's going to race everybody he races hard, right? Like, it is what it is. And Ziegler, he's no slouch. I feel like Ziegler's been, he had a good run a few years ago there at Eldora, and he's been a little off since then, and probably a little disappointed. Hadn't run, as much touring stuff and all that. So, that was tough. Anyways, lap 32. Lap 23, Bobby throws a slider on the 71 of Hudson O'Neal. And ends up taking the lead 2 laps later in traffic, and they pretty much round it out there. They have a late yellow, 3 to go, and Bobby just, does Bobby things, takes off. JP's favorite wrap of the weekend, got the dub Wednesday night, and, at that point, like, I went to bed Wednesday like, it's about to be a long dream. But yeah, it didn't work out that way, so we'll take it. But, I was talking crap about the wrap last week, and we got a lot of TikTok views and comments and everything, but it grew on me. The whole throwback to his dad and all that. I mean, it grew on me, but, I think pink and blue, white, I think if JP ever gets a race car, he should go with that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially if I ever own it, then I get to pick. So, we can put him in that. Maybe we can make it like Davenport's car, but with pink instead of blue, It'd be a little Michael Page looking, I know you love pink race cars. Don't lie to me, JP. Yeah. But, so we had a great one there. Anybody want to cover the Thursday? Dan, you got some notes up there, or what?
I'll take care of that.
All right.
Thursday, 47 cars signed in for the $30,000 to win.
Split features. Very important split features.
Okay,
real quick. Sorry to interrupt. I know I just told you to take over. Do we like split features, or do we want them all to run one night? Do you like it being split into two?
I like the split.
I like the split.
I like the split, too. I've seen some people complaining on X about the split. I think the split's the best way. I think, good show. Everybody's got a chance. You're not tearing your stuff up. I feel like 4 nights in a row at Eldora is a lot on a car and a motor, too. So, I like the split. All right, keep going. Sorry.
All right, so Pierce got the fast time in qualifying. Heat 1. Harrington got Heat 1. Austin Smith, it's kind of cool to see him back in action. He got the Heat 2 win. Leach Heat 3 in Turbo. Heat 4. I liked the 01 car that he ran. I was a fan of that for Turbo.
Turbo Lee.
There you go. Yep. Dome blows up while leading. The invert 8. Wilson on the high point. So B main 1 was Troutman, O'Neal, and Trent. And then B main 2 was Bronson, Chamberlain, and a 99 Junior. Carpenter would have made it, but with no rain.
They had so that was that one where they had it started raining in the middle of the B main Thursday night.
Okay, yep.
Like, they didn't beat the rain, and Tyler Carpenter started shotgun on the field and drove it up to 5th in like 6 laps. It's like I think it was a 12-lap B main,
okay,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, okay. I was watching.
And they canceled it after 6, and I noticed he was hauling butt up through there, and they had that caution, 6 to go. He only would have had to get like 2 more, and it's Tyler Carpenter, who I'm not the biggest fan, but I feel like if they would have run that whole 6 extra laps of that race, they called it. It was halfway. They called the night, ended it. So that was the end of the race. I feel like if he would have had the 6 laps, I really think he probably would have snuck in that last spot. JP?
He was also driving pissed off from getting junked in the heat race, so he was going to make to B main if they would have let him have the laps.
Yeah, what happened with him? I was trying to remember. I didn't have it in the notes. Who did he get into?
Oh, Lord. I can't remember, but he got, ramped over.
Yeah.
It was Hoffman. That's who it was.
Yeah.
It looked like some sprint car shit. Because the way he just drove over the left rear.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Hoffman in something like that. But it was like Hoffman was kind of committed or something, and just it was tough. But, I don't know. It was weird. Then Carpenter and Tyler and Freddie were, swapping cars back and forth all weekend. I seen Freddie run the 28 with a C4 taped on it, and Tyler run the 28 – Tyler run the C4 with a 28 taped on it, and Freddie ran a 28 with a C4 taped on it. It was really weird. I don't know why they switched cars there, but something happened, and they did. So that was kind of goofy, back-to-back nights. But so they ended up canceling the rest of Thursday. They rained it out. They did kind of what I thought was odd, pushed it to after the Friday feature. Whenever we have rainouts at local tracks, they usually run the features first, like hot lap, then feature, then go into next week's show, right? So that was interesting, but I think for the racing, it's probably the right move to push it. I borderline wanted it to be before the Friday feature, just because it just feels kind of weird to run the Thursday after the Friday after kind of getting started already. But it was cool for Friday. We were done at like 9 o'clock, and then that really rolled them in for Friday. They got started early on Friday. I'll let you pick back up there, old
Yeah,
D-Watt.
so lap 1, Carson kind of just got the cushion there and flipped, and then gets hit by Simpson upside down.
That was
Could have
crazy.
been super, super bad, but luckily he was able to get out of there and walk away.
Yeah,
that was a bad deal. That was scary.
That was, we talked about this, I think, the last time we went to a race. Like, we hadn't seen a good hard flip in a while, and that was sketch. I was sitting here watching on Flow. They showed the replay so fast on Flow, which is unusual for them. And I was like, what? And then they pulled the camera back off the cars and everything, and I was like, okay. But then they said he was all right, and I was glad. But it was kind of funny, They didn't really say anything about Simpson being hurt, and I think kind of post that, it sounded more like Simpson might have had more injuries and was more
it like
bruised
a bruise?
up than Ferguson was. So glad Carson's okay. Definitely sketchy. If his car did not turn a little bit, I think he clipped turbo. Is that right? Like turbo kind of clipped him a little bit and kind of spun it around. But dude, he was about close to halo to.
They were almost
side.
halo to halo
Yeah.
whenever Simpson hit.
That one sketched me out sitting here in the seat for a while, and that doesn't happen too often. But good thing for all you got all these good safe race cars. Thankfully, we live in an era where we don't see a whole lot of injuries other than head, but that one had me worried for sure. So I was glad to see that. Hats off to everybody that built both cars in that situation. I know Ferguson is a Longhorn. I don't know what Simpson had, but yeah, I think they did say. I think it was later, maybe on Saturday. They said Simpson when he went home was more kind of shook up than Ferguson was. Ferguson had a backup, rolled it out Saturday and everything. He's still quick, so. That was definitely sketchy. All right.
All right, so lap 10, a Turbo to the lead, which he ran good all weekend, or early on in the weekend he ran well. And then Turbo in the wall, so that took Rice to the lead. And then lap 31, Pierce took the lead, and Rice and Pierce were kind of going back and forth. Yeah. And then lap 40, there was yellow for the 71 in the wall. And then Harrington gets loose and gets pushed him up. Yeah,
so bad on that restart. Yeah. Like he just lost it and Owen just ran right, pushed him over. I was like, well, damn it, Tennessee boys. I know Harrington's not a Tennessee boy, but for some reason, I guess that 15K car is a Tennessee car to me. I don't know. I guess it's a Jensen Ford thing.
But it was great to see Rice win. That's probably the best win he's had in his career. Is what it was, what it sounded like. So that was good to see him win.
Yeah.
And Pierce, Turbo, Hoffman, and Wilson was the top 5, I believe.
I feel like the Josh Rice win was probably like the highlight of the weekend, kind of as far as like. I'm not unexpected. Josh Rice has been good at Eldora for a long time. He's been good a lot of places he goes. He's been sending it really hard for a long time. Just hard work pays off. He had that one motor that dieseled out and burnt down a few years ago.
That was a couple years ago.
He's never been as relevant at Eldora really since then until this weekend, and get the win, see him up there crying and hugging and thanking the whole team and talking about kissing his brother on the mouth and all that. That's good stuff. That's what we need. And, obviously it's good to see the other guys dominate that we all pull for every time, but awesome to see Josh Rice get the win. We see him race around here all the time, regional guys. So that was cool. I thought I don't see how anybody could have been upset with that one. And that was like the nightcap for Friday night too, so that was pretty wild. But I don't know. All right, Friday feature.
Can we mention Bobby Pierce being a bitch and not giving an interview?
Hell yeah, let's hear it.
Like, what the hell? I don't care if you lose to somebody that's not necessarily qualified as good. You better give a damn interview.
Wait, hold on a second. So I must have missed this. Now, I'd had a few cold ones. So wait, did they try to interview him and he declined?
Yeah.
And they announced that on the broadcast.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So Kyle Busch, Bobby Pierce, one and the same. All right. Really? Because he couldn't pass him?
Yeah, I guess.
Man.
And then, I saw a clip where they had an interview with him the day after, and he was like, they were asking why he didn't, and then he was like, oh, yeah, we had somebody trying to steal our stuff.
Oh.
I'm like, dude, come on now.
I don't know. finishing second sucks, but if you're a professional race car driver, I guess it's part of what you have to do. And it is different at the dirt level, you know? Like, usually you get some time. You don't have to come straight in an interview on TV and all that, but, you know, you're at Eldora. This is the biggest stage. They got that great media center. I loved all the coverage all weekend. Randy Weaver, Rigsby, Shelton, James Essex down there for that flow night on the track, doing the choose cone, all that stuff. Like, it was a really good weekend for racing. So, you got to be there, do it. But I understand the frustration. I mean, I'm sure he felt pretty bad. Like I said, he had the lead, and then Rice drove back around him. Like, that's not very Bobby Pierce. It was at that point when I realized it was not Bobby's weekend. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hell yeah, brother. But, you know, sorry, Bobby. We love you. We really do. He's definitely coming here next weekend and winning, right? Like, 100%. Unless he's running a Hell Tour, I guess. But if he's down here next weekend, he'll smoke him. I mean, he won here earlier, right? So we'll see what happens there. But that Friday feature, we had, like, I think there's a few more cars on that one. But Alberson, fast time. That man is like a modern-day Ryan Newman of daggum dirt super late models. Does he ever not qualify fast time at this point? Like, I don't know what they got in their setups. I don't know if it's just him. I don't know if it's their draw. But, golly, he is on fast time, like, all the time. I mean, almost every race. So they kind of fall as the race goes. But he ends up getting fast time. Bishop wins the heat. Gustin wins the heat. RTJ wins the heat. And Dylan Thornton gets the heat 4 win there in the DRT or whatever it is. Dirt Racing Technologies machine, 13 house car. Cool deal to watch him ride that. The dilly thing, I'm over that. It reminds me too much of Bud Light, so we can let that go. But good to see him get that done. That 4th heat, Mark Whitener, shout out. Absolutely smashing it, son. He was trying so hard in that one. I was like, atta baby. I was hoping to God he was going to have the BMF, but he did not. So, you know, it is what it is on that one. But anyways, go in the feature there, Friday night feature. And we had Timothy Culp on the pole, Brandon Overton on the outside in the 76 Heartbeat Hot Sauce machine, JP's favorite wrap of the weekend other than Bobby Pierce. That was his number 2 favorite. Ricky Thornton on the second row, Brandon Shepard. Dustin Sorensen and Jonathan Davenport starting in 6. Come in there, and we get to going. And pretty good start for the bottom there. I was obviously watching Davenport pretty hard. He took the lead 9 laps in, and he just kind of did his thing. This turned into a caution fest, though. Like, I don't know what was going on, but, like, I'm looking through my notes here. I've got 1, 2, 3, like 7 or 8 cautions in this race. You know, we had a McIntosh, no shock, unfortunately. That man's got some bad luck. Marler was running really good, and then he hit the cushion, like, went over. The cushion was so big Friday. It was tough. Did y'all see where it was, like, folded over, like a wave, like early in the night? It was kind of goofy looking in turn 1. Mills crashes. Gustin blew up with his motor. Whitener in the wall. Kohler in the wall. You know, Ricky made a lead at Davenport there with like 10 to go, and I really thought Ricky was going to do it. You know, Ricky was a little quiet this weekend overall. I thought he was going to go and take him out, and that was it. But Davenport did get back past him. They were racing in traffic. And then he was gone, and I was like, yeah! And then Whitener spun right in front of Davenport. And I really thought he was going to hit him. I was like, ugh! I barely missed him. So we had the last restart, and then Davenport gets the win over Overton and RTJ Alberson and Timothy Culp in the C8. He hasn't been in a late model in a while from what they were saying. I guess he's been doing modified stuff. I remember from that dirt tracking app when it first came out. For some reason, he was all like in the early group of that. I guess he's friends with Mike McKinney or whoever owned that app. Was it Mike McKinney?
I think so.
JP? I think they own that app. So, good race for Davenport. I was like, hell yeah, we got a start. Obviously, they ran that one before the Thursday, which we covered before this, but they didn't interview him, which was kind of funny. And I was like, but the rain was coming, and they were just kind of worried. And so they ended up interviewing him later after the second feature, which I thought was great. He was wearing like shorts and a, fishing shirt and drinking a Crown and Coke or whatever he was sipping in his cup. And he came up there and talked to Rice and congratulated him and all that, and they interviewed him, and then they pulled out the wheel, and there was no twos on the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 3 through 8, and I was like, oh, my God. And he spun a 4, and I was like, phew. And, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it was tough. And the invert, I guess, before we get to the main show, you know, Mike Marlar has come out post-race here Monday, Sunday night, and was like, hey, inverts suck. So what's y'all's opinion on the invert in general and the Eldora, or either or?
I'll go ahead and go. My take on it is, as a fan, I like it. It kind of switches things up a little bit. It might prevent the same driver from dominating the weekend or dominating the feature at the beginning or whatever. But all in all, I'm for it.
Yeah. JP?
I'm a fan of the invert. It creates opportunities for passing.
Yeah.
Creates better racing.
Yeah.
Gives people that don't have, maybe quite as good equipment and shit to be good. And I just personally like it.
Yeah, I think when you have as many cars show up for this thing as you do, which I believe, the official number is like 90 or something, like 95, something like that, basically.
I believe.
Whatever it was for, yeah, that's probably right. For Saturday, I mean, I want to see the best cars race, and I don't want to see it single file. And when you have 100 laps of the feature, and you run a 15-lap heats, Davenport went to 4th. If he had gone to 6th, I don't know. I don't know that he makes the transfer. I mean, he was the 3rd spot. He started, 13th in the feature because he finished 3rd in the first heat after starting 4th. So, he had to come from pretty deep there on Saturday. Let me make sure I'm not lying to y'all on that one.
He started 13th.
Yeah, 13th, row 7. I mean, halfway through the field. So, I think when you have these 100-lap races at Eldora, whether it's this or the World or whatever, the cream rises. It's 100 laps. You can pass on this track. Track's big enough to pass. This isn't one-line racetrack. This isn't, a red clay one-line track like we might see around here. This is a big boy racetrack, and it's big boy racing, So I feel like if you come to Eldora enough times, you're probably going to win for the invert, and you're probably going to get screwed by the invert, so just keep on trying. I understand Marlar's frustration, obviously after having kind of a rough deal there. I don't think he made the feature. So I definitely understand where he's coming from, but, the invert's been there for a long time, and, it's unfortunate for Mikey. But I'm wearing a shirt today in support, but I'm also saying I probably also, with y'all, still would like to keep the invert. Sorry, Mike. But I need to buy a new shirt, brother. Hope you got some this weekend. Hopefully we can buy some merch. Last time I've been to these races, we ain't bought no merch.
Right.
Them Hunt the Front races didn't have none, so I'm excited for this weekend coming up. But like I said, Davenport gets the win. So, wrap it up. Overall, y'all got any opinions on the Saturday show? There's not a whole lot to talk about really in the race. I felt like, Davenport smoked them. McDowell led early. Davenport took the lead with 60 to go, and yow.
I saw a tweet today that I wanted to bring up and ask y'all.
Yeah.
How much money do you think has been offered to Landers to buy that car right off Victory Lane?
Yeah, so I don't know. Probably a lot. But Davenport's not going to let him sell it. So
well, obviously, but
yeah, if he sells the car, I think Davenport comes with that car as a driver. So, I don't know. I think that whole thing, I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to put that in notes, but I want to see if y'all want to talk about it. The whole one-car concept is just crazy, isn't it? He's run that car for what? How many years now? 4, 5?
5, something like that, yeah.
And they just take it back to shop, put it on the shelf, get it back down, put some shocks in it, put it on the track, and go. And he's had rough luck in it. Obviously, this is what, third dream? Is that right? Third dream,
Fourth
I think.
dream.
Fourth, I think it's
third in a row,
fourth?
though, right?
Something like that.
I think they said third in a row. Either way,
third in a row. Yeah.
He's smoking them. He's the king of Eldora right now. Obviously, he's finished in second. Some other racetracks, but Eldora he owns. I thought it was really cool that they just they didn't wrap that car or nothing. Pull it off the shelf.
I just want to comment on that. Yeah,
slap it together and go.
Throw it in the hauler and keep the same wrap as last year, which I like that wrap. I thought compared to this year's is good, but I like the white. It looks good. So, but the race wise, my take on it was just I thought the track was much smoother and better Saturday night compared to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There was some passing that went on with Davenport going from 12th, 13th to the lead, and they run the top, they run the bottom. McDowell, who was my pick. I thought for sure I was hoping he'd win it, but
Yeah.
all in all, I thought it was a really good dream weekend, and yeah, I thought it was good, and we'll go on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I thought your boy McDowell was going to do pretty good. I was worried. What did I call him on this podcast when we were talking about our F1? Oh, old Fogey. Old F1 Fogey, yeah. He got told that I called him that by his son. So he called me, or he texted me on Saturday and was like, "Old Fogey's doing pretty good," when Clanton and McDowell were on the front row. And I texted him back, and I ended up talking to him. We were talking about this weekend or whatever. But yeah, I was like, damn, Shane Clanton had a baby. Clearly that didn't work out for him. But as far as what you were saying, Dwat, there, the track I think was really good, really smooth. It slicked off pretty good, and I knew that was going to help JD a lot. I would like to point out, Bobby Pierce was coming. He had tires. He had to go get tires because tires were junked up. He was coming hard, and I feel like if there's a caution, like one yellow, like 10, 15 to go, I'm not sure JD holds on to him, really.
He probably would have got around him because he had a fresh right rear.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Now, I think I saw on X he still had some tire issues after the race, but he was running the top, and they said something about the top was just chewing tires up or whatever, so. I don't know. Davenport clearly can manage his tires very well over the middle. He had him a long neck Busch latte because we do that for first, not second. I don't know if y'all remember that, but long necks are first. I meant to buy some for the podcast, and I forgot to get some on the way home. Sorry, JD, but congratulations on the big win. All right, schemes, real quick. We're going to wrap it up. We'll move on to NASCAR and next week's events. I want D-Watt, go first. Give me your best and your worst.
My best is Brandon Shepherd. I thought that car looked really good. My worst, and I like Jimmy Owens, but I just could not get behind the scheme that he went with the line. Something about that wrap just wasn't for me. And the one that was pretty good was Herb. With the 01.
Okay.
Yeah, Tyler Herb. Yep.
That's fair.
So are we going best, worst, and a throwback? Can I go with that?
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
The best was Turbos.
Okay.
Turbos was the best.
I figured you were going to say that.
We all know the worst was Bobby's. And the throwback, we're going to go with Davenport because technically that's a throwback route.
Yeah, so I like that. Yeah, I was going to go with the Davenport move, so good one there. I don't know. I was trying to decide. D-Watt, you really I really did not expect you to like the old Rocket 1 car. I really liked it too. I was like, man, I might have to buy a daggum shirt. We keep racing that son of a bitch. But I don't know. I was surprised that I liked his. Turbos was good. There was one adjustment I would have made to turbos. We're not going to talk about on the podcast. I'm sure JP knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really liked his car. It was pretty good. Dang it, I was gonna go with Rocket 1 and Davenport. Shoot. I love the Owens scheme, just for the record,
Did you
too.
like it?
It had the old ghost in the front on the hood. Now, it wasn't exactly what it needed to be. If we could just get rid of the gray, if we could go back to do you remember when he had that window wire? It had
window
that
wax.
the spider stuff.
Yeah.
If we could go back to that one, that was my dream car for Jimmy. But I don't even know where to go now. Y'all took all my picks. I'm kind of screwed. I'll give Bobby the best rap. Congratulations, Bobby, on having the best rap. And if you finished first, I would have said it was the worst, but you finished second, son. One spot away. First loser. But that was a pretty good one. I'm going to go with Mike Marlar, my boy, that was had a rough weekend. I like that he's back to the red. I like the purple chassis underneath. I'm supposing that was probably an old Gustin car, maybe? I don't know. It was interesting. It was purple. Did you see the frame? There was one point I saw the close-up on it. It was like a purple frame or something like that. I thought it was pretty cool. And then Infinitus. So we'll go with Mikey Marlar for that one, and I guess that counts. Tyler Carpenter was probably the worst. I'll go with that for Tyler Carpenter. Definitely. So just because it's Tyler Carpenter. So that's enough for me. All right, moving on. This week, Hell Tour coming up. We have a lot of Hell Tour races starting Tuesday. If you listen to this podcast, there's going to be one every night. Tuesday, they're at Brownstown Bullring. Wednesday, Kankakee County Speedway. That's as close as I could guess. June 12th that'll be Thursday at Peoria. Friday, Tri-Cities. Saturday, they're at Fairbury. Feels a little early for that. Now, they do race at Fairbury again. That is part of the PDC later in the year. They're back to that, actual Hell Tour. Like, this is not a broken up series anymore.
Yeah.
You know, was it? I don't know if it was last year, a couple years ago. They kind of did like a little bit of a breakup, had like some weeks, but it's back on that solid. After that, they go to Sycamore Speedway, Maple Park, Illinois, and then they are in Wilmot Raceway in Wisconsin after that. So they are on the road every day, starting from whenever you guys can listen to this podcast. It's getting released on Tuesday, so y'all be sure to do that. Lucas Oil Late Models going to Smoky Mountain Speedway for the Mount Moonshine Classic. Caution Flag Contemplations will be in attendance. We have a nice tier spot reserved, so y'all, if you see us, don't say anything. I'm just kidding. You can stop by if you want. Tell us our podcast sucks or whatever. Bobby Pierce, if you're coming, we love you. Just kidding. But we'll be there, and I'm hoping to buy some merch. Y'all making it? You got any big plans? Anything you want to buy?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check out. I mean, I'll have to see when I get there, but certain drive, I'll probably get some more Owen stuff and check out some new Davenport t-shirts and stuff like that. I need kind of see when I get there.
I need some new Davenport stuff with the new wrap for sure, but I'm also looking to get some different stuff. If they have I'm telling you, if there was a Rocket 1 shirt with that wrap on it, I'm probably buying it. Don't tell anybody; it's a secret. But Devin Moran, I kind of like him.
No.
Maybe he'll do something. We'll see what happens there. But all right, we're getting a little lax on time here, so let's move it on. Michigan, thankfully, only had 2 races to cover. There was also an ARCA race, but we're not even going to talk about that. Butterbean got to win the ARCA race. Butterbean's smoking him at ARCA. At this point, are we all in agreement Butterbean is in a truck next year? Probably looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do we think he's going to be good, or we just think he's going to be in one?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I say he'll be in one, but he'll struggle.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Dwat. I think he's going to struggle everywhere other than a short track. I think the aero is going to be a lot different in the truck than in the cars that he's used to. So we'll see what happens there. But looking forward to it. All right, trucks, pole. Luke Fenhouse on the pole for the truck race. Congratulations to him. I just wanted to point that out because I was like, that's actually pretty decent. Let me pull up these truck results here so I don't tell any lies. You never know. Let's see. My boy Carson Hocevar was in this race.
Yeah.
My boy Ross Chastain was in this race. And, neither of them had great showings, really. So,
you forgot your boy Corey LaJoy.
God, don't even start me about stacking in daggum pennies. So let's talk about that, and then we might just skip the rest of the race because we've got about 5 minutes for the truck race. All right, Corey LaJoy goes out and says that I'm not going to run trucks because I'm not running in front of 12 fans. He says that at the beginning of this year. And then goes and signs up with Spire Motorsports, who fired his ass. Yeah. It's like, oh, yes, I love to do this. God, I wish Prime would have sat him down with lights in his face like a dadgum interrogation and been like, would you like to apologize for dumping on truck fans? Corey Heim did finish second. Corey LaJoy finished way better than he should have. He finished 5th. So I was surprised he didn't wreck. I made a smart-ass X post about him wrecking. And I was like, I can't wait to watch Corey LaJoy wreck in front of 12 fans, which I figured was going to give him the win. Then he had the lead late, and I was like, that's over. He did. So, yeah, other than that, all right. Let's do this real quick. Stage 1, Heim. Stage 2, Heim with Hocevar. Both times, Hocevar led most of the stages, and, Heim just absolutely put the draft shake and bake with no help on his ass. That first stage, he embarrassed my boy Carson Hocevar, I felt like, on that final lap. And then Carson was kind of, actually, in the second one was like reverse stage, but Heim was smart enough to break the draft going down the backstretch, and Carson never got a run. Like, he was planning on doing what he did, but Heim was thinking ahead and kind of swerved down there and got him. All right, other than that, we get in the third stage, and that's when it starts just getting bad. Jack Wood spins, Rajah gets wrecked. We end up with this weird thing where, like, half the guys go in and pit for fuel. Half of them's going to run out. Half of them aren't, yada, yada, yada. There's a big wreck, 41 to go. That wreck, 41 to go, Hocevar was leading, basically, or whatever. It comes in, has the pit issue. They never covered it on TV. Never talked about it. He went from the lead to like 22nd, and they never said what happened. I don't know if he took more fuel. I don't know if they dropped the jack. I have no idea. Still don't know. To this day, don't know. Terrible coverage. I'm pretty sure Fox wasn't there. I'm not 100% on that. I'm pretty for sure Fox was covering that from the studio, and that's what you get when you cover it from the studio. If they'd have been at the track, sitting across from it, you would think they would have seen his car sitting on pit road for longer than anybody else.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
All right. Chastain and Hocevar battling for the lead. Dwat, did you enjoy that?
I was at work, so honestly I didn't get to watch it live.
I didn't know you had to work Saturday. Okay. Well, you're going to need to go back and watch this if you hadn't. So Chastain and Hocevar back there. And Chastain is under Hocevar, and Hocevar's coming around the top. And Chastain, I mean, this was like some straight-up Kyle Larson BS. Kyle Busch, he had it wrecked and saved it.
Yeah, I saw the highlight of it.
I
It was
mean,
like a
bro,
heck of a save.
I don't know how he didn't. And then they had another caution for flat tire after that. Like, he saved it, was running third. Somebody's tire went down. I think it was Lane Riggs, maybe. It was one of those. It was either 38 or 34, one of those two. Tire went down on the back stretch. It fell off the car. Throw the caution 10 to go, and then we just go like 5 green-white checkers or something. I don't know. It gets stupid. Hocevar's up there. Corey LaJoie's up there. Hocevar ends up getting a restart violation because he left the lane, but he was like, I did not like the call. So like at Phoenix is really where we see most restart violations when it's the lane change.
Yeah.
Sometimes at a drafting track, I guess, but usually that's when guys like cross a line. The problem that I have with Hocevar's, and the rule's the rule, it's whatever. He did pull over some. He pulled over like a half lane. He was still behind the truck in front of him. He like peeked the nose. They called a restart violation. He didn't go over the line. I feel like if you don't go over the line, which they're not restarting against the line there because they're trying to make that big swoop down toward, coming down the hill on the restart, right? Like, but I don't know. It was just weird. I felt bad for him, but it is what it is. He's the only one that did it, so unfortunately, you just have to deal with it, move on. But Chastain ends up getting turned on the restart. We have another restart, yada, yada, yada. We're coming out here. Corey LaJoie's on the last one. Corey LaJoie's on the front row with Stuart Friesen. They gave Stuart Friesen from 5th or 4th, the bottom on the choose. And I was like, y'all are a bunch of idiots. He cleared them. He beats Enfinger and Fenhouse, ends up finishing 3rd. So a really good run for Fenhouse after setting on the pole, finished 3rd. That's a good run for him in the 66 truck. 66 has struggled with Luke Fenhouse and Luke Baldwin both a little bit. So definitely a good run for them to finish top 5. Awesome to see Stewie get the win. We watched him at Atlanta kind of get gypped by the GOAT, Kyle Busch. So good to see him
shout
get a
out
win.
to my boy Stewie. Met him at Smoky Mountain Speedway. That's a fact.
I wish we could get him to come back to a dirt track with a late model. I know they hadn't run much. I think they've been running he's still running his big block or whatever. But
yeah,
I'd love to see him out there. I do miss that. But I love Stuart Friesen. He's just a racer from Canada up there in Canada. They sang Old Canada before the races. I was going to talk about that. We're going to skip that. But congratulations, old Stuart. He is my favorite Canadian, way better than Ricky Weiss. So just want to get that out there. Other than that, truck's looking pretty good. Stewart's now in the playoffs. Trucks are actually even though we're only halfway, just past halfway for the Cups, trucks are really getting into it on the playoffs here. There's some guys got to get wins on the points. So we'll see what happens there. They're off this week as Cup Next Xfinity Series go to Mexico City for a little Mexico action. So Cup race. Dwat, we'll let you handle it. You watched that one. You didn't work Sunday, did you?
I did watch Sunday. Chase Briscoe is the man at qualifying. Was that 3 in a row for him?
Ryan Newman 2.0, baby. Golly. What a man.
Yeah, he's got it figured out on qualifying. He just needs to work on his race setup where he can be consistent up front instead of he fades back. But anyway, stage 1, Buescher takes home the win. Stage 2 is when we kind of get into the fuel, mixed bag on fuel. 9 took the lead. Lap 6 to the yellow. 4 and 42 crash. I saw that one. Them two tangled up and spun down the back straightaway, it looked like.
Big hit for Noah. Big hit for Noah.
Oh,
yeah. Poor Noah, man. In the interview, what can you do? And he's like, man, I just get caught up in somebody's crap. And he really has. He's been back there. But you got to get out of the 20s, man. You got to get out of the 20s so you don't get caught in the crap,
Yeah. So then at lap 66, hard hit for Alex Bowman. Man, that was hard. It's straight ahead.
Yeah.
Man, it bowed the soft wall when he hit it I saw a picture or a video of the wall bow, and that was a big hit. So luckily he gave a good interview afterwards, and hopefully he'll be racing this weekend in Mexico. We'll see. Sometimes these drivers after that kind of hit miss a week or two, but we'll see about that one. But I don't know what the deal was with Cindric and whoever.
Man, they were 4 wide, 5 wide, and pinched up, and I've said it on here before. Austin Cindric can't drive. I think he should get replaced. So I'll just stick with that, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
They were all in there. From what I heard, Bubba was in the mix. Freddie called it. I don't know. Whoever came up from the bottom really didn't need to come up. They need to hold their line down and didn't. On Alex Bowman, how does that man always take the worst hits? Like, golly, he took some bad ones in this car. But, anyways, continue on.
Down to the lead on the restart, and then lap 73, yellow for the 42. Zane Smith takes 2 in the lead, and then the 77. So so he had a flat tire, leading there late with 18 to go. So I thought for sure that was gonna be his day, and that was your pick, but didn't work out. Eventually he'll get these runs going and he'll finish one, but right now the last couple of weeks
he can't catch a break, dude.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
always something.
So,
either the pit crew screws him, he screws himself, or has some crappy luck with the mechanical issue. Like, what does he got to do to get the monkey off his damn back?
77 at Carson Hocevar, obviously, big story last week was him and Stenhouse. I don't know if y'all saw, they were hanging out at the driver intro stage together. I don't know if y'all saw it on Prime
I
or
didn't
not,
see
but
that.
I watched most of that. I was out here in the garage, so I watched most of the pre-race. I was like, that's pretty funny. But I don't think they necessarily have that much of an issue. But I think if Ricky's going to put him in a bad spot when he gets a chance, right? But I don't know he's just going to wreck him. We'll see. Hocevar's out there leading this thing, boys. I got to make a confession. I'm not a gambling addict, but I did. For the first time since Tennessee went to Ohio State, I put some money in the DraftKings account, and I put every dollar of it on Carson Hocevar to win this race. And
so close.
I was convinced. Like, after the truck race on Sunday, I was convinced he was going to do it. I felt like his track was wide enough to make pass. They've been fast, yada, yada, yada. And that left rear went out. I don't know if they had the fuel anyways. Obviously, you had the fuel, got kind of iffy there. Byron, Hamlin, all that. But yeah, I mean, he was in the driver's seat. Left rear went out. I guess they're going too fast, man. Like might have dropped the air pressure too much. Late in the race, there, they're talking about the clouds coming out and how that was adding a lot of pressure to the tire. Not pressure, but force on the tires.
Push track down and then go faster.
It didn't look like his blistered. I know they showed one earlier where one had blistered, which is kind of a tire pressure and a speed issue where the tire's not really wearing right. They showed that, but I don't know. It sucked for him. Dennis ends up coming by William Byron to get the dub. No shock there. Congratulations to Dennis on the win. You did beat my favorite driver. Dear Denny, you beat them all. Yeah. Congratulations.
Except
that's about all I
Davenport.
Who finished second?
Busher.
Busher. Was it Busher?
Yeah.
Chris Busher.
I believe.
Out of nowhere. Just ends up in second. I wrote Bush because I'm an idiot. But yeah, Chris Busher. Ty Gibbs with a third. Probably Ty Gibbs like best finish of his career. Maybe is that like Ty? He's probably had a second, but he needed it, man. Like, I know that he was a little upset and wanted to win. He was upset. I don't know if y'all saw after the race. He was mad that they made him save so much fuel. Like, he was mad about it. He's like, y'all made me save too much fuel. I couldn't go up there and race. What's the point finishing third? Because obviously they're going to need to win to get in the playoffs and all that. So he was kind of irritated with that. But, I know. Congratulations to Denny. This is the year of the ham bone. Ham bone going to the ship.
You can bet it happening
whenever you want. Denny Hamlin will
be a
champion.
He's a certified choker. Always has been. Always will be.
We're 700 races into the career here, 701, and we are yet again a winner. I'll just go ahead and say it. Jeff Gordon, I think, was the leader. They said after 700 was 7 after 700. Go ahead, give Denny 9 and a championship. So congratulations to Denny on his championship coming up in Phoenix this year. You can go ahead and bank that one too. I'll probably make a deposit like I did for Hocevar and go ahead and bet that. So congratulations, Dennis. Dear Denny, you got it right here. Caution Flag Contemplations Podcast, telling everybody how terrible you're going to be, how you weren't going to have a sponsor, how this was it, and you're retiring at the end of the year. So I'm still going to be right when he wins the championship and retires, though, boys. Just want to let you know. So we'll see what happens there. But other than that, Toyota, great gas mileage, man. I don't know what they got going on. I mean, anybody else notice that?
Yeah, that's strong.
They got them V-twin hybrid V8s in there. I mean V6s that they've gotten the Tundras or something.
Yeah, the ones that blow up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's tough for Larson and Byron and all them that just couldn't hang with them. But them Toyotas are getting cool. All right, real quick, broadcast.
Yeah.
This Prime broadcast, boys, is this the best broadcast in the last 20 years?
Is, for sure.
I think it's the best broadcast I've watched, and I don't like to be that bandwagon guy. Yeah. But what's your favorite thing about it? Like, what was your pick one highlight of the broadcast? What's your favorite thing? D.Y., you go first.
Highlight for me would be the side by side racing. So they don't show commercials during the race.
Okay, JP.
Probably that they don't use the damn animated cartoony characters. I mean, straight up. I know that sounds like a bitch move and kind of something stupid, but it is.
So y'all's first two are kind of like that they're not Fox. So I'm going to have to throw out two things that really get me going. One, they show racing all the ways through the field. Yeah. I love that. Like, when they're showing the battle, there was one point they were showing the battle for 23rd, and there was like 4 guys absolutely going at it. And that's nothing but out of the mouth of Dale Jr. telling the people at Amazon, hey, listen, there's good racing in the back. When the front gets spread out, you want to watch that. And a lot of times it's dual box, which is good. Really big fan of that. The other thing, Steve Letarte, as much as I hate him, kind of always have a little bit as a broadcaster. I don't know why. I don't know if it's his accent. I don't know if it's the fact that he screwed Jeff Gordon out of ever winning another championship. I don't know. But never really liked the guy, but he is an excellent analyst. All their technology using like that fuel burn bar, bro, they can make a boring race look good. Like, that. Shout out to Prime. Like, if we could have that on every broadcast forever, you'll keep people watching. Because even if it's not interesting, they were making it interesting. There was one point I got so caught up in that burn bar crap, and I was like, wait a minute. This is a boring-ass race, kind of. But you didn't know it, really. Like, they were riding. We weren't talking about they were riding, really, even though we were. It's like this is all to win, what they're doing. So congratulations, and they're doing a great job. I think Prime's knocking it out of the park, and I hope that they continue having good broadcasts like this on TNT and NBC, and hopefully everybody will learn. Good far-out shots. You can see the whole field. Can't say enough about Prime. I've been impressed. Didn't really expect to be, but I have been. So, congratulations to them on that. All right. Other than that, picks. Is that all we got left? Anything else we need to talk about NASCAR-wise right now? 23-11. Okay.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
I was going to say
JP go.
It was pretty cool seeing on Twitter like the clips of all the teams working together on Sunday before the race to get their haulers loaded and everything swapped out to get, because those haulers left from Michigan to go straight to Mexico. That was pretty cool to see everybody working together on that stuff.
Yeah, I was having to explain to a buddy at work today. He's like, one of those guys I talk to sometimes, he's like, I don't understand. Why in the hell would they go straight from Michigan to Mexico? I'm like, dude, they're on a time crunch, and go to Charlotte's out of the way. Like, you damn near would come to Knoxville, and then you'd really probably go to Memphis and then go over east. Yeah. No, that's stupid. So, I don't know. I thought it was cool, too, to see all that and the swap out and everything like that. So, looking forward to seeing what they got in Mexico City. The broadcast will be great. Are we eating tacos on Sunday? Is that the plan?
Oh, yeah.
To watch the race? Yeah. I think that's a good plan. I'm going to make steak tacos like I did last week, but all right, D-Watt, you had something. Oh, we're talking about 23-11.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
Let's hear your opinion.
So there was a change in the court deal, and so I'm just really curious, how it's going to look whenever that date was they gave. I'm not sure on the date, but I'm just curious on my end, as a fan. I'm just curious to see some of the terms they use, and see how it goes if they have to go open for the qualify as an open driver. I'm just curious how that's going to look.
I'll let JP handle that with his favorite tweet of the week here in a second. But, so basically what happened is, the judge had ruled that they were going to be able to operate as charter teams, and this judge said, no, you didn't sign the agreement. You're not a charter team. You're an open team. You could have signed it and dealt with it and then sued them later. They didn't do it because supposedly the lawsuit said if they signed the agreement, part of it was that they couldn't sue, and they wanted to sue, so they didn't sign it. Well, they're not going to be charter teams. I think it's effective at the end of June 20-something. I want to say 25th, but I'm not. We're a fan podcast, so y'all go find that yourself. But they're not going to be charter teams at the end of the month, and then we'll see what that means. Now, as far as them being open teams, JP, you can go ahead and now. Do you think there's any cars out there that can compete with them?
Very excited for Bristol. I hope a certain driver that we may or may not know can out-qualify the old 2311 cars, because screw you, Toyota.
Yeah. We don't know any drivers on this podcast. Just for the
Yeah,
record.
okay.
There's one that's sponsored by this place down the road from my house, True and Equipment, and a number 66 car from MVM Motorsports. But there was a tweet. Somebody posted a picture of like Mike Harmon.
Yeah, and like the money
and the
team
MVM
racing
car and the 44 car or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like, so do we think 2311 can't out-qualify these cars? They probably. I mean, obviously, I agree with you. Like, no, that's not going to be a problem. But what happens if they wreck in qualifying? I mean,
Yeah.
that's where you get to. Like, you're at a point where if you wreck, you're out because there's no provisionals anymore. So there's no points provisionals. So, like, you know, Bubba and Tyler, if they're, I guess Herbst, we can Herbst. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, Bubba and Tyler are essentially going to have to be really careful in qualifying if that's the case. Can't go out and wreck it, and you get a bad draw. They're kind of going to have to. They're going to be playing defense a little bit, and dude, you screw around and play defense, you might get beat too. You know what I mean? So it's definitely kind of an interesting spot for them to be in. It'd be rough. There's a lot of questions on what does Bubba and Tyler's contract say as far as like having to have a charter car. They could both be on the market potentially. I think. Honestly, I'm at the point, I'm pretty sure NASCAR wins this case at the end. That's my opinion. I don't know that I want it to be that way. I want the teams to have more money. I don't want NASCAR to hoard all the money, but I really just don't see them winning, and we'll see what happens with 2311 after that. There's no way to know. I mean, I've seen everything on the internet from they're just going to shut down to they're going to go run the Cars Tour to they're going to go run the IndyCar.
Yeah.
I've seen every like dirt cars, like anything I've seen, and I'm really curious to see what happens. And all this, I make my dream is obviously for Denny to retire at the end of the year. So Denny wins the championship, NASCAR takes his charters away, maybe he walks away, and then I'm right, and then I can point back to that clip from the first podcast or whatever and just be a winner. But I don't know. I really think NASCAR wins this case, and we'll see what happens with 2311. It's ugly. It would suck to lose Michael Jordan out of the sport. I don't want to see that myself. So we'll see what happens. I think if I'm 2311, when they sit down for mediation, which they should be doing here soon, would you not just sign the charter agreement if NASCAR will let you do that right now, as is, and say we're done,
That's what you
pay
should
their
do.
legal fees and move on, like take
Yeah.
the L? Dear Denny, dear Michael, if I was you, I'd go ahead and take the L, pay the money, race. Please. That's what we want. We're us, the fans. I don't even like y'all. Really. I like Michael. I don't like Denny. But I don't want to see y'all go away. So hopefully that happens. If not, like I said, the driver market, Tyler Reddick hits the market, boys. Whew. It's going to be it'll be a crazy season because somebody will pick him up even if they got to fire somebody. So we'll see what happens there. But other than that, not a whole lot to work on. Picks. All right. Let's see. JP, we're going to read through this list here in order. I got a little one here. JP, 6 Sunday. No, 32 Saturday. Missed by 1. Here's a Busch Light to you, Bobby Pierce. 7 truck. I guess that was for Saturday.
Kosovar,
Yeah. All right, Dwat, 22 Sunday. Close but no. 17M, again, close but no. 49 Wednesday. Had to roll out the backup, not the Eldora car, so he didn't have a chance. Now, let me play this short little clip for y'all real quick. All right, well, I really like this round of picks because y'all are leaving everybody I want. Dora, Saturday night. I don't want to say it. I don't think I can do it 2 weeks in a row. Give me 49. I just can't say what I want to say. Yep, that's right. I was going to pick Bobby Pierce and leave it for JP to take the 49, but I did go correct. So I got the win. Congratulations. Woohoo. Yeah. Go me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is. Picks this week, I guess. We'll see what y'all got. I'll go last since I got the win. So who wants to go first?
I'll make my first pick.
Let's hear it.
Xfinity race. Give me Connor Zillich.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. I'll go Xfinity as well. I'll go with Sam Mayer.
Sam Mayer. All right, sorry. I'm trying
Sam
to type
Mayer.
here and work. I didn't put the blanks in, so, I'm having to actually work. All right. I'm going to go Chase Elliott to win the Cup race. Hadn't seen Road Course Chase out there. I'm going to go ahead and take him for the dub in Mexico City.
Well, you took my second pick there. I guess I'll take old SVG for the Cup race.
bold, not. I mean, just for the record, I'd love to see SVG get the win, but I don't see it.
All right, Sunday, I'll go with Tyler Reddick to get the win Sunday.
Tyler Reddick. That would be big, for sure, for Tyler Reddick, I think. Okay, I'm going to go... Give me Devin Moran Saturday night at the Smoky Mountain Speedway. Friday night at the Smoky Mountain Speedway, just for the record. Give me 99 Friday night.
All right, I'm ready. Friday night as well. I'll go with Devin Moran.
That's what I just picked.
You picked that.
Yeah.
Hudson
what
O'Neal.
99 is.
I got a couple.
Okay.
Hudson O'Neal.
That's a good pick, too.
And I'll keep with the theme and go with Friday night. And I'll take... Give me the 20 RT.
Okay. Who's running the Hell Tour? Is Turbo running the Hell Tour?
No idea.
I think Turbo's on a... Hold on a minute. I'm not doing any research as we speak at all. Not pulling up Tyler's schedule at all currently
I'm sure.
as we speak. Race schedule. Look at that. Turbo's running the Hell Tour. Didn't he win the Hell Tour last year, maybe?
Yes,
I think so.
he did.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me pick a racetrack for him to get a win at here. This ought to be easy. Where did I say they were at on Thursday? I'm not picking him at Fairbury. Give me Turbo at... Oof, man. God, I don't know. Give me Turbo at Tri-City Speedway on Friday. That's what I'll take for my third one. Y'all are bold picking them Xfinity picks, boys. Did we ever figure out, did Pato end up getting an Xfinity car? I don't think they ever worked that out, right? JP?
Huh?
Pato Award. He never got an Xfinity car from
I didn't know
Mexico
he
City.
was supposed to get it one.
Well, they had schedule issues with IndyCar, but they were talking about trying to get it done. I don't think they ever did. I'm really curious to kind of look at that entry list for this race because I'm not exactly sure who all's in it. It'll be interesting. I think Dwat, was you talking about Bowman? I think that's actually a really interesting point. Bowman may not make the start. And then if he doesn't, who's eligible to go? And then some other things to point out. Does Denny make it? Denny's still on baby watch. I would assume she's having her kid like today or tomorrow, probably, with where it seems like they're getting to with the due date. But, like, I'm just telling you right now, if my wife is about to have a kid, I would not drive to Mexico to race, especially knowing that you can get the provisional for that. So, or get the, not provisional, but whatever it's called, waiver. So, we'll see what happens there with all that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Who can we put in the 48 car?
Carson Hocevar next year. It's happening.
Oh, God, don't start with me. Why would Carson Hocevar leave Spire?
Because Hendrick is better.
I mean, I would argue right now that Carson Hocevar, he has not got the finishes, but he's probably faster than Bowman right now.
For sure.
I don't know about for sure. The cars might not be.
Sure.
He's faster, probably, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Other than that, y'all got anything else that we need to tell everybody to look for this weekend? Any hot opinions I need to know about?
Shout out Jesse Love for racing a Miata at Mid-Ohio last weekend. That
What
was
did he
pretty
finish
cool.
last?
I don't even know. It was raining the second race, so
I almost took him for the Mexico City Xfinity race, but I decided to take the layup and steal me a win with Turbo there. So we'll see. I did see rain is in the forecast for Mexico City.
And if it rains, SVG is a guaranteed winner. So you're screwed.
Rain tires. Do you watch anything for the way out?
Oh, I went to dinner Sunday night at Chili's. So I like to support those who support racing. So I went to Chili's.
Ride the Dente.
Did you get
Ride
a
the
Dente?
Dente. I think I got the spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah, but did you get the Dente?
And then
That's
Katie
the
got the
margarita.
fajitas.
Nobody got the margaritas though.
No.
Oh,
Gotta ride the
tequila
Dente.
makes your clothes fall off. All right. Well, other than that, we'll be in attendance at Smoky Mountain Speedway. Y'all come on down. Best bathrooms at a dirt track in East Tennessee or in the Southeast or pretty much anywhere. Y'all be sure to get you some fresh fried pork skins, get you some jerky. They got beer in the concession stand. Great people, great times. Smoky Mountain Speedway. Probably my favorite track right now. Has been for a little bit. And racing was good when I went to Hunts Front. So looking forward. Hopefully the racetrack will be good and racy. We get a little bit of racing there off turn 2. Like I said, we'll be in the backstretch here, grilling and chilling. It'll be a good time. Y'all come on out and hey, if you guys can fly in here if you're out of town. I was looking at our YouTube views. We're getting YouTube views from like Montana or something. So y'all just come on down here to Tennessee, fly into the McGee Tyson Airport there. It's about 10 minutes away. JP will pick you up and get you out. JP, you're not coming Friday, right?
No.
Okay. You got anything to do Friday?
No.
Y'all got a date?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, that's stupid. Dates are dumb. Mine's going to Bonnaroo, so I don't have to worry about going on dates. So, kid's going to Smoky Mountain, in case y'all didn't know. So, we'll be there. Kid, and then there might be an old fogey showing up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a young fogey. Mission Marshall. But we'll see what happens there. Anyways, y'all have a good one. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations Podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammer down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time.